Welcome back, Haile Mcnally, to the show. Haile, we love having you on, and today we are going to have some fun and review some of the best and funniest videos of the last few months.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited and a little bit scared to see what I'm going to see. The internet is a crazy place.
Yeah, the internet is undefeated, and you should be scared. All right, so we are going to get started with our first video.
Yeah. All of this is raw reactions because Fabian, you and I haven't even really seen these videos. Even though we picked them, we didn't really see them.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, gosh. I only see the thumbnail, and I'm nervous.
Okay. Oh, yes.
We all voting for Kamala Harris.
I don't want to lose my rights. I'm a trans man, and I'm gay, and I have been pregnant, and I've had an abortion before, and I don't want to lose that. I'm afraid of not being able to be myself anymore because from what I've heard, Trump's America doesn't want me to look like this. That's why I'm here today, and that's why I'm voting blue.
I've also been pregnant and had an abortion before. I was a minor, and it would have been dangerous for me to properly, it would have been dangerous for me to carry a baby with, personal reasons and everything. I also, I'm very, alternative, and I feel like if Trump were to win, I wouldn't be able to express myself through my looks and everything, and wouldn't be able to have the piercings or the dyed hair or the tattoos that I want. And, I would be able to be myself. And my dad's very pro-Trump, and I'm just very
pro-Kamala.
pro-Kamala. Yeah, I don't, it's just...
Does that cause a divide at all?
Yeah, it definitely does. He thinks that Kamala's going to ruin the country.
The nose ring right off the bat tipped me off. I was like, this is going to go exactly how I think it's going to go. And as someone who has had an abortion before, that narrative and the rhetoric that they have used and the mainstream media use is extremely dangerous to women. So first, right off the bat. Second, I actually find people who are very alternative, androgynous, kind of cool. I'm like, okay, that's self-expression. That's awesome. I think it's when they start really believing what they're hearing in places like the mainstream media that you start kind of drifting into this space of not being in reality anymore, which we can clearly see has kind of brainwashed them a little bit into these values and these beliefs. So I hope they find the healing that they're looking for, because I think there's a lot of it to be had.
Yeah, that was a really nice thing of you to say. Not as nice as what I'm going to say whatsoever. First of all, I was confused. I don't know if those are girls, or what they are. I don't think they know. And I think they don't like the label of anyone knowing. She said her dad was pro-Trump and she's anti-Trump. I wonder what happened in that household that made her turn out like that.
Most likely he's paying her bill still, right? So let's be honest here,
100%.
Right? Especially we can tell by the piercings, the age here. I'm like, okay, they're probably being paid. But I scrolled down in the comment section, and I think one of the funniest comments I saw so far is that, isn't a trans gay man just a straight woman?
Oh, yeah. They've come full circle. Right? You keep going, you're going to end up back where you started.
Absolutely. Okay. And they're with their $11 Starbucks cups, or their Starbucks drinks, with their, Apple laptops and their iPhones, and they somehow hate capitalism, right? Even though everything they're seeing and wearing and saying is so pro-capitalism, it's just it's mental gymnastics on every it's the Olympics of mental gymnastics.
How to be oppressed when you're living in the most free, unoppressed world in the history of humanity. Literally in the history of humanity. Yes. For our next video, this is going to be Oprah talking with Kamala Harris.
We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being, because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are.
Oh my God.
Right off the bat, as someone who comes from the pageant world, there is an infamous line where a woman on stage says that people don't have maps. And the energy of of Kamala Harris and this teen that is competing is the exact same. And there's a reason why I'm not pro-vegan. It's because of the word salad she just gave to us. And I think at the end of the day, I think there were so many better candidates for the Democratic Party, just to be honest with you. But that's embarrassing. Again, to bring it back to being a woman, that's embarrassing that is supposed to be the representative of someone who's one of the most powerful women in our country and in our world. That's a little terrifying, to say the least.
You're talking about the 2007 Miss North Carolina, the most
Yes.
famous pageant answer. I've watched that video over 100 times. Hold on. Hold on. Can we just watch this video? Because this is
Absolutely.
David, have you seen
It's
the
the
answer?
same. Vibes are the same.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. It's where like, yeah, they asked her and she like just gave exactly what Kamala gave us, just a bunch of word salad.
Because kids can't find maps, or kids don't have maps in Africa. So that's why we have to help Africa.
I personally believe that U.S. Americans are unable to do so because some people out there in our nation don't have maps, and I believe that our education, like such as in South Africa and the Iraq, everywhere like such as, and I believe that they should, our education over here in the U.S. should help the U.S. or should help South Africa and should help the Iraq and the Asian countries. So we will be able to build up our future.
You can tell the guys like trying to hold back and not laugh right there. It's hilarious.
You know that meme from The Office where Pam is like, show me the difference between these two pictures. And then, like, it's the same picture. That's exactly what just happened just now, for sure.
I love that Mario Lopez somehow kept a straight face through that whole thing, because he was probably thinking, what in the hell is going on right now? They're paying me a lot of money to shut up and smile.
Same thing that Oprah was actually thinking right there in that clip with Kamala. And here's the thing is that like Biden doesn't really make sense, but I feel like Biden makes more sense than Kamala, because although Biden, you don't really know what he's saying, at least he doesn't give you a bunch of word salad. Like Kamala just says any word.
Can you tell me what exactly happened there that she just gave that answer? Was it she had no idea what to say? Would she just get lost in the sauce?
Yeah, I think it was probably nerves, most likely, or lack of preparation. I will tell you, just as someone who's competed quite a few times, we trained for an entire year, hours a week on our interview, from not using the word or like, or we all have these little things that you can tell when someone gets nervous. And a lot of times you don't know the questions they're going to ask when they're up there. Like, for instance, when I was competing in the USA system, which President Trump used to own, now it's gone extremely woke, which is so unfortunate. Yeah. One of my questions was, what do I think about the border wall? And I was not involved in politics at the time, and I bombed it. I could not, every word I knew left my brain. I had no idea, and I just stood there and stared and just hoped the thing would beep. So most likely that's what happened, and all she wanted to do was get it over with.
Wait, Haile, point of clarification. Does this video exist?
I hope not. I sure hope not.
We're gonna go on a deep dive in the darkest corners of the internet to find that.
I don't think it does, but I will tell you I could probably recreate it. It was just a deer in headlights, and I'm glad to be where I am.
Okay, we're going to watch one of our favorite new people, Mr. Tom Homan, the border czar.
The recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend a zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
parents. If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father from his family.
Mr. Homan, with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're into the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum and go through the port of entry, do it the legal way. The Attorney General of the United States has made that clear.
Okay. And so the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommend a zero tolerance.
That is our elected officials, everybody, not knowing the laws of this country. One of the most basic laws, nonetheless. And I think time after time, polls have showed that Americans are pro-immigration, but pro-legal immigration. Time after time after time. And even the most, and I wouldn't say I'm a border professional by any means, but I will tell you, I know the law better than she does in that moment. And that's embarrassing. That's extremely embarrassing. I think AOC has many strengths. I don't think being in Congress is one of them.
One thing I did like that she did is when she was stuck, she bought time by saying, Mr. Homan, with all due respect, you could see you're thinking, but
Yeah.
what in the hell am I going to tell this guy? Like,
I just want to say that
Absolutely.
this is who I want to be the guy handling the border, because you can see he's all about actually implementing the law.